subscribe and hit the bell icon and never miss another video.
Whenever there's a character like who's aspirational, I think if you make some backstory to it, it always helps. It plays in the back of your mind.
I actually said yes to doing this part, being prepared to fail.
You said I've done just 3 films, so like at least with my experience, we're almost always on the same page.
When you're working with people that there's a lot of respect for, I get a little nervous.
I mean, it is what it is that if you do a film that doesn't do the numbers, are to flop picture mein thi, are to flop actress hai. So that is such a burden when you're written off before you even have a chance.
Some of the reviewers have started becoming very personal. I think it's weird.
Shravan Shah, and today I'm going to be having a conversation with the super talented cast of Monica, My Darling. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
We are doing good. How are you doing?
I am great. I am great.
Why are we screaming, but?
I am screaming because I love the film. I watched it last night. I love it.
Scream it loud.
No, but generally, guys, what a fab film.
Thank you.
And throughout the film, and I said this today to somebody from Team Netflix, that when I finished watching the film, it was literally Game of Thrones of the corporate world. Okay, I genuinely felt that. Now, this question is to all of y'all, and whoever wants to go first can go. When a script like this comes to you, okay, of course there's a character graph for each character, okay. When you get the film, how do you decide, or is there a backstory that you form in your head that, hey, you know what, this is what my graph is going to be like, but I want to form a backstory of where this character came from and exactly why the reason this person is behaving a certain way. Whoever wants to go for that.
Yeah, I do in most of my films, like
Okay.
especially films like Monica, which are real in nature and are very human and relatable. So for me, like Jayant Arkhedkar.
Practice. मिले हुए हो तुम लोग पहले.
2-3 बार Game of Thrones बोला तो ऐसा चढ़ गया. He's somebody who comes from a small town, and I myself, I came from a small town to this big city with dreams in my eyes and a lot of aspiration. So I could relate to Jayant in that way. And I thought he's somebody who desperately wants to be successful in life.
Yeah.
So I think that's the whole thing why I made up his whole family background, family history, that why success means so much to him. So for that, I think that really helps. I did that for Kai Poche also. Whenever there's a character like who's aspirational, I think if you make some backstory to it, it always helps. It plays in the back of your mind.
Radhika, I want to ask you this, the OG queen of Netflix. How do you manage to pull this off all the time whenever you started something? This amazing performance all the time.
Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. No, I mean, I actually said yes to doing this part, being prepared to fail, because it was a part that was I'm not, it's not my sense of humor. I wasn't comfortable. I didn't know if I can pull that off.
You pulled it like a boss.
No, I mean, I appreciate when I watch people pulling such like humor, comedy in general. I find it's very difficult, and I wasn't very confident actually. But I'm so glad because I think nobody else would have cast me in a role like this. You know, it was only Vasan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Nice. To you, Akanksha, third outing for you with
Yes.
Netflix.
Yeah.
When you are a part of a project like this, okay, do you ever, for example, there's a scene written for you, and when you're shooting for it, okay, do you ever have that thing that, hey, you know what, this is what I thought, this is how it's going to play out, but it's not going that way? Are you comfortable walking up to your director and be like, hey, you know what, this is not what I thought?
100%. Of course, like you said, I've done just 3 films, so like at least with my experience, we're almost always on the same page, prep-wise, reading-wise. So by the time we get on the shoot, there's kind of an understanding of how it's meant to go. But yeah, say my first day on Monica, I walked in with my script happy, and Vasan says, look, he's like, pick it. I'm like, yeah, and he's like, badal gaya. And I'm like, hey, Bhagwan. Wow. So, but obviously that's all decided earlier. But yeah, answering your question, if there is like a lack of symbiosis, you must always have that conversation because everybody has to be on the same page because then there's you can see it on screen if
Makes sense.
yeah.
Sikandar, same one for you. Are you comfortable walking up to your director and be like, hey, नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब vibe नहीं आ रहा है जो मेरे को probably script में आया था?
Yeah, if you're not convinced about something, you must go and question it, is what I feel like. Sabhi feel nahi aa raha hai, वगैरह. But I think once this script was so well written, I mean, like, I remember reading it actually off my phone at Dubai airport. Literally off my phone, because I was filming for something for a really long time in Indonesia, and I told Vasan that I won't be able to read it right now, and I just sat and I opened it off my phone because I'd rather read it on a bigger screen.
Yeah.
And I said, "Chalo, dekhte hain." I'm sitting here. And it just flew by. Yeah. It was just, I finished reading it so quickly, and when there are few scripts that come across that are such beautiful reads, and then you just get the character, you get the feel, because you just see the chemistry between all the characters, you know, and that's how it helps you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, when you're on sets, things can change. And I mean, I had some great scenes with Raj and with Bucks. I mean, like, I think that, Raj, when we did our scene and all, I think the chemistry just flew, no? We didn't.
Flew, yeah.
It was not like.
And for Siku, actually, the most difficult scene actually we shot on the first day only.
My God, yeah. That was insane. It was like, and I was telling Vasan before we started, I said, "Sir, this one particular scene, I hope I'm not starting with that. The only thing is that, you know, you want to warm up a little here and there, and then don't start with like the most hectic scene. And then COVID, and he's like, don't worry about that, yeah. It'll just be really random stuff. And then COVID hit, and then when we finally got to shoot, I mean, he said, "Acha, ye shoot abhi ye din shuru ho raha hai." So I said, "Sir, wo scene to nahi." He said, "Wahi scene kar rahe hain."
Wow.
And I was like, "Nahi yaar, aise mat karo." You know, it's the first day with new actors, people that, you know, you really like. I look up to Raj tremendously as an actor. So I mean, when you're working with people that there's a lot of respect for, I get a little nervous.
Yeah.
It's a little extra, you know what I'm saying? But it was really cool to work with him. He made me really comfortable. Bucks made me really comfortable. And Vasan, who's the director, is just really chilled out,
Yeah.
But Siku's great, yeah. I think first shot and first take, and we all knew.
You know the
We all knew it's
energy
going
of
to
the
fly, yeah.
entire. But you know, as actors, and I was talking to somebody recently, and this person said that the reason why, you know, OTT also has started flourishing is because OTT के पहले ये होता था कि it was a story of one person and everybody else was playing at the galore of it. Okay, but today, whether it's a film or a show on an OTT, you know story about every small person in the project. Like Monica, Oh My Darling, I know probably the backstory of all of you all in the film while I've watched it. Okay. Do you think as artists today, it's also great to be in that space that, hey, we've come a long way from where we started off? Go for it, guys.
Because I started working when the OTT space came into being.
Yeah.
So I think it's the biggest blessing on earth. Because firstly, I mean, it is what it is that if you do a film that doesn't do the numbers, arey to flop picture mein thi, arey to flop actor hai. So that is such a burden when you're written off before you even have a chance. You know what I mean? So over here, it's such a great time for like actors and like all kind of technicians, writers, blah, blah, blah. Because you get your due, you're seen for who you are, you're judged for your talent, and that's about it. So yeah, it's a great time because rightly so, like working with people who've been working forever, you know, and I'm relatively new, it's like, okay, cool, I get to share the same space or vibe with them and be appreciated for that. So that's a good time.
Don't you think, Raj, as artists, it's very important to have the right kind of criticism that needs to come towards your project than rather just sitting and being like, you know, there are some reviews where you just sit down and read and you're like, of course you're saying all this, but what are you trying to actually say?
Yeah, actually, I think right criticism is always welcome, but when there are times when, like, I've stopped reading reviews. Same, like what Radhika said, hardly one or two people that I would go and read because their opinion matters, because they're not being personal. They genuinely love cinema and talking about the film from their perspective. So that helps. And again, like, I have some 3-4 people I really trust and their opinion really matters to me. But apart from that, when some of the reviewers have started becoming very personal, I think it's weird.
Yeah.
Just because you're sitting in the front of the laptop, you have no idea how it can affect someone. It has happened in the past with other actors also. How it can affect somebody's mental state.
Yeah.
Also, I feel personally, I'm my most honest critic. When I do a film, while doing it only, you get an idea whether it's a misfire or it's going to be a good one.
समझ में आता है when you're shooting.
समझ में आता है, yeah, you get that idea. So first of all, I judge myself. I judge the film myself and my work as well. And then, of course, the people who are important.
Yeah. Sikandar, like he said, you know, reviews have started becoming more personal rather than it being about what you have showcased to them. as an artist, you come to know when you read a review, right? That this one is coming from certain agenda and it's not actually trying to say what it should be saying.
My things with reviews are, bro, I mean, to be honest, मेरे तो बहुत सारी पिक्चर रिव्यू भी नहीं हुई है. So ये तो सच है. दूसरी बात कि when you know, the thing with me is the bad ones stay with me more than the good ones.
Yeah.
The good ones, so I don't tend to believe anybody with anything
nature,
good.
though.
Yeah. So anything good that somebody's saying, तो मैं तो believe ही नहीं करता, because as even Raj said, I'm my biggest critic, you know, and I'm like always thinking that there's only one person I actually go to for feedback is my mother, because she's brutally honest, literally. She'll just tell me, because sometimes but I mean, now I've been working for a while, so now when I see stuff and all, I know, like my father was like, तूने अच्छा काम किया है, तूने ये अच्छा किया है. I said, पता नहीं. He's like, तेरे से कुछ पूछना ही बेकार. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you, just because my fathers are very like, he's gung-ho about these things, you know, and I'm like really built differently. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's like my father's encouraging, my mother's just honest, you know. I can't say exactly what all my mother has said about some work of mine, but yeah, it's straight up, and it's like she's just straight up. She's like, वरना तेरे लिए पेट्रोल पंप खोल देते कहीं ना कहीं, तुझे एक्टिंग नहीं आती, तुझे आती है तो करते रह.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a game with you guys. Very simple. I'm going to begin the game first, but after that it's only going to be 4 of you all. Game ये है that I'm going to take, you can name films and shows, all kinds of films and shows. The last letter of my film or show will be the first letter of your show or film, okay? We're just naming films and shows. And by the end of it, let's see who wins, okay? So I'm going to go first.
First round.
I'm going to go
Only Netflix films and shows?
No. Any films and shows, okay? Or, all languages. I'm going to begin first and then it's going to be like I said. And we're going this way, right? First one, Monica, oh my darling. G for you.
Your best friend's film?
Gangubai.
Okay. Gangubai Kathiawadi. I. She's shocked.
थोड़ा तो वक्त दे दो हमें.
India.
Indian.
No.
India. N.
Yeah, no.
Nagin.
Ooh, N.
And
Nigahe.
नागिन, तूने नागिन
Rajesh,
बोल
was
दिया.
all answers.
निगाहें.
Nigahe.
Nigahe.
I'm
What
going
is
to
it
give you
ending?
guys 10 seconds to think.
Nagin का sequel है
Nigahe.
नहीं तो हम लोग सब राज को ही देखेंगे. वो तो ऑलरेडी जीत गया भाई.
N.
ना तुम जानो ना हम.
M.
Masoom.
Nice. M.
Mard.
D. Darjeeling Express.
S.
Darjeeling Limited.
Darjeeling Limited.
Darjeeling
Limited.
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 Darjeeling Limited.
ये कौन सी?
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Darjeeling
Limited है.
Limited.
Limited.
Sorry, Wes.
Dard.
Dard.
D.
Tick tick 1. Tick tick 2.
Dam maro dam.
Tick tick 2.
Thanks.
Mother India.
A.
Tick tick 1.
अंदाज अपना अपना.
Oh, nice.
अपना A. आशिकी.
I.
E.
Arey.
I.
Sorry.
I.
इत्तेफाक इंतजार
Ittifaq. Q fast.
Q. क्या बोला?
Queen. N.
N.
Tick tick 1. Tick tick 2. Tick tick 3. Tick tick 3.
तुम जानो
You're
ना
out.
हम.
You're out.
I said
You're out.
I'm out. I'm out.
अरे
Yeah.
यार.
What your last film was Queen?
Queen.
N.
N. Na.
Tick tick 1.
Na.
Tick tick 2.
No.
Tick tick 3. You're out. You're out.
Na.
Allowed है.
Oh, it's
हम ये बीप कर देंगे. N.
That was an over.
Radhika N.
Nach.
Nach. H.
Hum.
M.
Guys, you're all just naming words.
M.
Mumbai.
Meri Jaan.
Mumbai.
Mumbai Meri Jaan.
N.
ये N पे
Tick
फंसा.
1.
Tamarlal.
L.
Lajjo.
Lajo.
Lajo. O.
O.
Tick tick 1. Tick tick 2. Tick tick
Oh,
3.
mere
Tick tick
humsafar.
3. We have a winner. It's Radhika Apte.
I will laugh.
ये Netflix की फिल्म है यार. राधिका जी. It was all rigged.
Radhika, of course, it's Netflix. It has to be Radhika, guys.
If he hadn't helped me, I would
I think he helped all of us.
like a long time ago.
He helped all of us.
Consolation prize हम राजकुमार को
But
देंगे.
please don't make me play games.
the
Clearly, I'm very competitive and disrespectful.
But you guys were fab at it, and thank you so much for having this conversation with me. All the very best, and like I said, I genuinely enjoyed Monica, oh my darling, and
Thank
this
you.
one is
Thank
going
you.
to
Thank
be
you so
quite
much.
a noise.
Thank you.
Hoping to see you guys super soon. Till then, this one is a wrap.